had a really interesting experience working with a horse today. As some of you may know, horses are kind of like my favorite. Just kidding. I love every single animal, and I've kind of just enjoyed playing with horses over the ages. I never owned a horse or anything like that. I have gotten familiar with horses through being in Costa Rica and in Peru, and I also today played with a horse as well. And when I was younger, I had an imaginary friend that was a horse named Rose, who was white. And I had a coinkydink experience today that made me just have some type of imagination of fantasy-based thinking that I thought would be fun to share with you. So I started like connecting with the horse. Like it felt like as if we were having like a non-verbal communication, and like right when I was making like connection, you know, like finally like having like breakthrough, like oh man, finally like the horse was like having my back up against its chest, and then it was like resting its head on top of my head, and it was like the cutest thing. And it was so unique, and like oh, it was just so like so much love and like support. It was amazing. And then like when I'm having this breakthrough, there's like this suddenly like this buzzing of like this giant bee, it looks like almost, but it's not like a bee. And then I started imagining like, oh, what if this is like an artificial intelligent robotic bee looking creature, which by the way was like giant, you know, like it would like fit in my palm like clothes, like it's a big thing, man. And like it was pretty cool, but like it was kind of like a shady amount of thinking, because I was like, man, I was imagining like that device, you know, interacting with like, I almost wanted to say like interspecies communication, you know. And we know that we could communicate with, you know, monkeys and dolphins, so what would make a horse any different? And I know people who have horses, like I imagine you guys would say, hey, I have a horse and I talk to my horse all the time, my horse is really smart. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people who would say that. God, I just saw like a really interesting, unique creature. I'm not really sure what it was. It looked like a chinchilla or like a rodent or a rabbit. I couldn't really make it out. I really wanted to go with chinchilla, but I highly doubt that there's like one in the wild in Florida, you know. They can't really handle those temperatures. I'm laughing at my own imagination, you know, though just I did feel like the species was very invasive to like, you know, my moments. And like we know scientifically that like we can hijack the consciousness of like animals. And so I just started imagining like this robot thing, like, you know, creating the horse to do certain behavioral movements or certain things, you know, that just like wouldn't allow the horse to feel safe in communicating with humans. And I'll just say that the bug looked unusual. If I had like a DSLR video camera, I totally would have loved to have captured every moment. However, like being like the activist or like the person doing all the action versus like camera person, like sometimes it's hard to do both, even though I do really love both sides of the spectrum of capturing life and journaling my personal life process and sharing so much intimate information that is essentially priceless, as this artificial intelligent robotic device here is actually recording and capturing and analyzing and processing every bit of information we get it. I kind of just feel physically ill and tired and overwhelmed by the amount of effort. So there's a part of me that is reclusing into a state of recovery, tending to my wounds, attempting to find my happy place and what I really want. So much deeper than that, though. It's just finding my peace, not what I want. And I recognize a lot of this is through like meditation and mindfulness, and I'm really missing the Amaranth Institute. I would love to be, as many of you know, I've stated about becoming a yogi through them. It would take a lot of discipline. A lot. And part of me is like, I can do it. Another part of me is like, man, I just need to do it, you know? So I'm working through that. Been having a lot of really unique experiences, and some of them I feel like I can only journal in paper. Another part of me is like, I'll never leave these diaries, you know, leave it for the people who are like lending me their ear and that genuinely want to hear the personal stories that I've had. Oh, the journeys that I've taken. Oh, the things I wish to share. I'd love to have like space and time to write. I feel like Renda Ryder in many ways, and I would just love to interview Renda Ryder, and I'd love to like travel around and continue my process. It's just been extremely difficult, man. I'm just doing my own personal integration, and just like breathing can be difficult, and I am imagining if I can suddenly have anything I want in the world, it would be my space, you know? And I mean like my place in the world. Like, I'm imagining a piece of land that I build a building from scratch, or even if it's just something from my imagination that's like already built, that's just like you know, for me, I'd love to come into alignment with that, like the next level from where I'm at now into being like into a more safe space that is of my own, you know? And I believe that a lot of that has to do with like internalness, you know? Like not allowing my opinion to be changed so quickly, you know? Like if I'm like, I want chocolate ice cream, and then like, I'm just being funny, okay? I'm guessing just imagining like just being like in my center. The words aren't essentially coming out appropriately, just this is my personal documentation. And I notice these different characters of self that come on stage when I'm with certain people, like when I feel feelings of complete love and admiration and devotion versus, you know, I notice there's like restriction or like hostility, like not wanting to talk to the person, or you can notice sometimes there's sexual tension or like miscommunication, and sometimes people are talking, however their talking doesn't match the story like of the narrative as we would narrate it, as you could say. Excuse my narratives and bouncing all over the place. This is not being excessively mindful, however this is just some forms of thinking where my brain has been going. I'm just like so itchy and irritated. My leg is like swollen, and I am called to do like some extreme cleaning, and like part of me doesn't want to do it, right? Like like I have to wash the entire bedding, and I have to vacuum, and I like to like clean things up, and like I like to bleach the bathtub, take the trash out, wash the dishes, put the dishes away, you know, eat something. Symbolism like that. I appreciate you and what you've been doing. Like, I see your value, each and every one of you, and I see you all as me, and I'm thankful for you loving me and helping me like get back home, you know, whichever age I'll have the honor to make it that far, as I fight with all my might to have complete understanding and love and peace within my soul, you know, so I can truly have that eternal rest. I have a couple other things I feel like I'm seeking, and I don't really have a name for them. They just kind of feel like a vibration or an energetic signature that I have intentions of coming into alignment. There's certainly feelings of complete joy, bliss, samadhi, release, end of suffering. Maybe you could call it full traumatic integration, like where no more triggers, no more pain, no more suffering, no more, even in the mind, no more fear, no more paralyzation. quite fascinating. I really like hate the process of changing my bed sheets because like I have like, imagine like a cover, a blankie, and there's like a cover that goes over the blankie, right? It's like a duvet cover. So I gotta like pull that out, and sometimes putting the duvet back in can be like annoying. But I'm like really OCD, and I don't like, I don't know, like I want my bed to be clean, okay? Like even like, I don't know, like I may not wash it every single week, but like I try. And like some people would say that's too much. And I'll just know when I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel right. And like with what's happening with my legs right now, like I'm definitely going to be I'm thinking it would be best to sleep with like leggings or something on. So I'm going to have to do that. I'm not really looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to washing my sheets either. I'm kind of tempted to just let them be dirty, but also like that's not really smart either. So I'm trying to like find the process, and then there's like resistance. Like I don't want to go buy more Relm soap, and like I don't want to have to go deal with the grocery store. I really don't want to go out and deal with that. I also don't want to have the things shipped here. Like I don't want to like deal with that stuff either. I don't want to deal with anything. Though like the show must go on, and there are things that have to be done. So I'll be making a big fat long list of duties and tasks for me to keep my focus on right now as I step into my center and finding what I really, really choose to have for the next moment, or what's really like most important. I'm sensing a lot of other things going on, and I am genuinely concerned about the health of those I love, and I'm attempting to just do my best to just like, not completely lose it as they go through their transition to the other side. I'm learning like super professionalism in handling the process, and it's not easy, and there's certainly heavy, strong emotions involved which can cause certain chaotic behavior responses, in the process of having to go through the grievances. And my inner kid says there's never enough time. Never enough time. I don't even know if that's my inner kid self or my higher self or the angels or what. A lot of like healers that I've worked with always like mess with me and say like to check in and know like who's talking when I connect, and I'm clairaudient, I'm hearing, and the more that I step into the awareness of the possibility of unseen forces, the more freaked out I get, to be completely honest. But at the same time, like it's also kind of interesting. It's really hard to not let my heart get hard. I'm really hurt, and I feel like I'm being continuously hurt. And I think that people find pride in their power of being able to cause people to have emotional responses, and people sharing their traumas with other people. There's just so much interlayers, and there's so much uneducation on how to be nurturing, and we can see those who are truly nurturing, and sometimes they're overburdened. Yet if they could just teach others how to be nurturing, teach the needy ones who need our love how to love and be who we are to them, to others, and to themselves, I think that's where the true healing can begin as well. Well, it's important for me to continue my process. I am grateful for you being here with me as I take baby steps into the future. I'm not sure how much of the future is there for me or what's available to me. I am doing my best to be brave and confident that it is possible for me to step in something better than this. And I'm thankful for those of you who are graceful enough to see the importance and need for me to continue growing and to step into this next place that I am to be going. And I'm loving you so much for loving me like this, where I can have this freedom to truly be happy, and for there not to be scarcity, that there isn't enough happiness to go around. or competition or threats or manipulation. Some of you are just so peaceful, and I just feel like you're my family, and I like to have more of your company, because only when that light is around can I emulate that, what I would like to call Jesus energy, and I mean it in the most gentle and sincere way. It's just one way of many ways of stating what I mean. Perhaps Krishna could be stated there. I'm still just a baby, and I am learning so many things for the first time that I just didn't grow up with, and I'm thankful for those of you who have been consistent and so loving. I feel so much gratitude, an immense amount of gratitude for your humble hearts and the heavy weights of your responsibilities over, like, using your power of being able to teach us and show us the way. And I know that all of us have that power. Sometimes all you have to do is just be, and that'll be a lesson in itself for so many. Thank you so much for allowing me to share with you what I have received. Thank you so much for being a subscriber and being a part of my YouTube underworld. What makes me sad is, like, some of the friendships and connections that I made on here. Like, man, I'd love for us all to hold hands and just connect, and not to be, like, territorial, and to, like, truly have friendship and understanding and commitment, almost like a marriage, but, like, without, like, sexual manipulation or dominance, just play, family, acceptance, growth. Who has the courage to believe that that's possible to be true anymore? Who can speak it with their actions? I feel so touched. I've been blessed with so much information and so much today. I just wanted to give back, and honestly, this is nothing. Perhaps it's something to you. I don't know. If it is, maybe you can give this a thumbs up. But just imagine if your thumbs up could represent all the support that you could give if you were actually really in my world. Feel the power of your strength, that how much, like, of my weight that you could carry if I could just, like, break down and cry for just a minute while you, like, remain on the front lines where I've been. If I could just have a healing retreat with my kitty. It's not that easy, though, and I can't really create a time frame for when, like, there's going to be complete peace. I do believe that that is going to come from meditation. Meditation, and yoga. Pratyahara. The 8 limbs. So many things come to mind. Many timelines, many possibilities and realities. I'm quite shy. I'm excited and welcoming. And at the same time, I am fearful and polarizing and resisting what I need the most. I notice this. So let me, again, return to the moment. I keep wanting to run away, but then there's another part of me that never wants to leave you, because I just long for this kind of connection, man. Just to hang out and just, like, be a crew and, like, eat together, like, let each other sleep, like, leave a space, don't make noise, like, be careful, like, around each other, being considerate of the other. Like, I feel like America, or just, like, it's not even America, maybe it is a world thing, but maybe it is America. I don't know, I just feel like they forgot that, Let me stop talking. Please let me stop talking. Help, I'm on the phone and I can't shut up. That was a t-shirt that my grandma Candy had. Used to mean so much to me. I hope you're receiving these light codes and all this information hidden in the silence. Notice if there's any highlighters going off, like sudden noises that are being made just suddenly and randomly in the moments of silence. If that's true, that might mean that you might need some more time in silence. Please know that God wants to talk in the silence. So do your guardian angels and your teachers. There's so much mystical energy. If you can give yourself permission to be a kid again, to use your imagination, to give yourself permission to connect to God's source, and to remember who you really are and why you chose to come here. I'm going to do that for myself. I'm tempted to turn my phone off and disappear for a while. Thank you. You know who you are. You know what you're doing. I have so much more coming. Please be patient with me. Like, God, please be patient with me. Thank you. Thank you for doing so. Your actions speak by your never-ending support and your unconditional support. Your support, your support, your support. God, your support. Aho, house. Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. I love you and there's nothing you can do about it.